the programming that we are clearing right now at a cellular level is so ancient and so embedded within our genome that it's hard to even imagine a version of ourselves without this programming. Some of these energies that we have absorbed from our ancestral line, from our every day-to-day life, and even from the moment that we were conceived, have been embedded within us for so long that some of us authentically recognize that programming as ourselves. And some of us even have entities or attachments that have been with us from a child through traumas and through these events in our lives where they hook onto us. It's very hard for someone to recognize the authentic version of themselves when you have had these entities or attachments with you for so long and not even knowing it. Even I personally have experienced this. I had a parasitic attachment that was attached to my crown and was barely holding on by the tips of their toes to such a high vibrational being, although that being had been with me since early childhood. Now, if you are someone who is constantly bombarded with negative thought patterns, negative emotions, and things that almost seem to come from outside of yourself, well, it's probably because you also have one of these attachments. You may not even recognize it at this point. The best way to get rid of these energetic attachments or entities is to work with a skilled psychic or to do daily practices that increase your vibration so much that that entity is forced to let go. Entity, parasite, energetic removals, whatever you want to call it, they do come in many different shapes and sizes. So the first and the most expensive tip that I have would be to work with a trusted psychic. Now, many psychics actually don't do this work. It is considered trench work in the spiritual community, if you will. So I would recommend the person that I will link below, their information. And if you know anyone else that does this kind of work, that has an online presence and good reviews, certainly leave their information in the comments. Hopefully that will help whoever may need it and come across the information. The second tip that I have for you would be to invest in an energy clearing spray, or you can make your own. The one that I have and recommend is this one here. It's called Funky Juju Be Gone. I love this stuff. So what it contains is Hawaiian ceremonial salt, dwarf needle, frankincense, and sage essential oils. When I tell you that this stuff right here will clear out the whole building and room that you're in, it absolutely will. If you're clairvoyant, you will literally see like entities running for the hills. This stuff is super powerful. I definitely recommend it. And the third tip that I would have for you would be to take a salt bath. So if you don't have a bath, this one might not work for you. However, the ocean is really good at doing this as well. Obviously, the ocean is salt water, right? So you can spend some time in the ocean or draw a bath using Epsom salt, any other salts that you like, magnesium. And you also want to add a cup or two of vinegar. So the quote that I like that goes with this is, if you want a baby to stop sucking, you gotta sour the milk. So essentially this works in the same way energetically. And while you're in the bath or the ocean, you can say something along these lines. I release anyone or anything that is not for my highest good. You can say that as many times as you want, and that will work wonders. Going to be visualization techniques. So one visualization technique that I really like, it's free, anybody can do it, would be to imagine salt raining down in your space over your body. Actually engage all of your senses in this. It'll really help, and it's a great etheric protection that you can use. Along with that, other visualization techniques are working with colors. Now, you can use whatever color you like that makes you feel the most protected. I recommend shimmering sparkly gold, really bright white light, violet, and also black. Whatever color you want, again, just envision that washing over all of your body and tuning into each of your chakras. So that brings me to the third thing here, tuning into your chakras. So this may take some time at first, but just really tuning in and sitting in with your energy center, seeing how that energy feels on its own. Once you do that, it's going to be very hard for anything else to kind of sneak in the background and hook onto that. Just as a good, heads up, typically I've noticed the lower 3 chakras in the back is where these entities will come in and attach to, but that's not always the case. That's why you've got to be very careful with who you hug. Your back absorbs energy. So when you're hugging someone and they're putting their hands on your back, just be very careful of that. Fourth thing is going to be using frequencies. So I'm going to flash a few that I highly recommend that is so powerful to get rid of any stagnation, any black magic, curses, negative energy, or entities. This one here, save it to a playlist. This one here, so good, save it. This one right here, along with this channel, she actually does a lot of really great Reiki sessions. Highly recommend. Lastly, ask and declare and absolutely know without a shadow of a doubt that you are divinely protected from anything not for your highest good.
Like and follow.